بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Hadith number 9. عن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الصيام والقرآن يشفعان للعبد يوم القيامة. يقول الصوم يا رب منعته الطعام والشهوات بالنهار فشفعني فيه. ويقول القرآن منعته النوم بالليل فشفعني فيه فيشفعان. رواه Ahmad. This hadith has been recorded by Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal rahimahullah in his Musnad, and it has been narrated by Hazrat Abdullah ibn Amr radiyallahu anhu. He says that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Saum and Quran, both, they will intercede on behalf of the slave on the day of judgment. Saum would say, fasting will say, Ya Rab, O Allah, I have prevented him from eating, drinking, and fulfilling his halal desires in the day. So therefore accept my intercession on behalf of the slave. Quran will say, I have prevented him from sleeping in the night, so therefore accept my intercession on behalf of the slave. فَيُشَفَّعَانِ, Allah will accept the intercession of Siyam and Quran. Beautiful and a very wonderful hadith. Siyam and Quran will speak. Allah will enable Quran and fast to speak on the day of judgment. As we know that many things will speak that couldn't speak in this world on the day of judgment. As it is mentioned in the Quran that the body parts of ours will speak with the permission of Allah on the day of judgment. Whether they will testify for us or they will testify against us. So, with the command of Allah, with the permission of Allah, Siyam and Quran will speak. Now, the recitation of the Quran in the night, as a person wakes up, performs salawat, prayers, and of course in the prayer, the Quran is being recited. And out of the prayer, a person wakes up and recites the Quran and has very little sleep in the night. So the Quran will intercede. Recitation and reciting the Quran is very important in the month of Ramadan. The reason is that there's a very special link and a very special connection of the Quran with the month of Ramadan. Why? Because it is mentioned in the Quran, شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن, that the Quran was revealed in the month of Ramadan. It started, the revelation started in the month of Ramadan, in the night of Qadr. So there's a very special connection, and we need as well to build a connection with the Quran, especially in the month of Ramadan. Now, recitation of the Quran, it is not always about the quantity, about the how many Quran that I have completed in the month of Ramadan. Unfortunately, people focuses on this and said, okay, I finished 5, I finished 10, and they're counting on that and letting others know that how many times that I have completed the Quran. First of all, the quantity is not important. Second of all, mentioning it to the people that how many times that I have completed my Quran is just like showing off. We are not reciting the Quran so that we can let people know how many times that I have recited. We are doing it for the sake of Allah. We are doing it for the sake of Allah and no one else. So, as I mentioned, the quantity is not important, but the main thing, the main important thing is the quality, the how we recite the Quran. We forget about the basic etiquettes of recitation of the Quran. We should be reciting the Quran slowly, with khushu, with khudu, with humbleness, with tadabbur, when we recite the Quran, we ponder upon its meanings. We try to understand the Quran. We recite the Quran with its translation, with its explanation, so that we can understand what the Quran is saying, what Allah is saying to us. For example, when the verses of Jannat comes, the verses of paradise, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we make a dua, we ask Allah for Jannat. And when the verses of Jahannam and hellfire comes, we seek and we ask protection from it. So this is how we recite the Quran. We do not recite the Quran as if we don't even understand the words that we are reciting. So quickly, so fast, that we cannot even pronounce the words correctly. And it will be a grave sin that if we are reciting the Quran and we cannot even understand what the words are, we cannot recite the Quran without the correct pronunciation, and we are making mistakes in those words, then it will be a sin. So yes, quantity matters. I'm not saying that we do not complete the Quran 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. We can, but with the etiquettes of recitation, and as I said, we're pondering upon the meanings and the explanation as well. And a very good translation of the Quran, the name is The Meanings of the Noble Quran by Mufti Taqi Usmani, Hafizahullah. Such a good translation, very easy translation to understand. This comes in Urdu as well as in English. In Urdu, the name is Asan Tarjuma, and in English, the name of the translation is The Meanings of the Noble Quran. So it is very good to recite the Quran as well as read the translation and the explanation, so we can understand the Quran. Rule number 9. By swallowing one's saliva, the fast does not break irrespective of the amount swallowed.